My hands stable, I feel able to turn the tables, I could do this. Just keep moving, keep your hands up, stupid. I feel lucid, a new viewing. I can see the end, I can see my future, I can view it. It's right there for the taking. Everything I've ever wanted, dreams are just waiting. I just gotta fight for it, willing to die for it, willing to like sort of.
Hey, greetings from the year 3000, it still sucks. This is Philip J. Price, and you're listening to the Drunken Turkey Show, your one stop for this sort of thing. Hit that button, like and subscribe, you know what to do, just like every other podcast.
Oh, you're muted. You're muted. Hey, you're muted. Daniel, you're muted. I don't think you can hear me. There you go. I still can't hear you. Okay. All right. Can y'all hear me? Man, these 2,000 pages are pretty crazy, guys. I'm going through them as quickly as I can, and I'm seeing some names in here that I didn't even think of could be there, but they're in there. So, let's see, Daniel's coming back.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
I don't know what's going on, man. This is like the third time this week this happens to me, whether it's on this channel or my other. Welcome back to the Drunk Turkey Show. I'm sure Blue did a great job doing the intro.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, I kept saying, hey, you're muted. You're muted. You know, that's all they could hear me was panicking. Panic in the
air. Don't be scared, man. Don't be scared. All right. So we got some crazy, a document dropped. Epstein's docs. A lot of documents. Over 2,024 on this one page alone. Let me bring it up real quick so we can show everybody. Let's kind of go through some of this. For those that aren't aware, what happened was some documents were released referencing Jeffrey Epstein and his persons that he had contact with that may have been involved with his illegal practices and things that he did with underage people. I don't think it was just underage women, to be honest with you. What do you think, Blue?
Yeah, I don't think so either. Because I've been only going through a few of these pages, and it has a bunch of plaintiffs, and some of them are male plaintiffs. Yeah. But I have to read through the list to see what it is, because it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and just to kind of go through some of it, it says a teenage girl recruited by P. Doe, Jeffrey reveals how she twice met Bill Clinton. Hold on, let me see. Let me go through some of these real quick. There was one in particular that I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think I'll tell you what page I'm on. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, it's 146.
146. It says it starts with.
Well, hold on. I want to go up a little bit higher because it's a little bit crazy. It says she'd always wanted to, and it says why Jeffrey paid for her to take lessons, and I remember she was very excited because she got her license around. I'm guessing it's his first year we met. Used to get frightened lying with her, but Bill had the Secret Service with him, and I can remember him talking about what a good job she did. And I believe this is all about coming from like Maxine, Giselle Maxine, the lady that was helping him recruit, basically. Is that correct?
Some of it, yes, and I think in this part of this case, it's also the guest named Virginia.
Yeah, and I think this one was one of the victims, no?
Yes.
All right. So it's speaking out, Virginia, now age 26, in her new home in Australia. They were covered with pictures of Jeffrey shaking hands with famous people and photos of naked girls, including one that Jeffrey had at all his houses, lying in a hammock. We all dined together that night. Jeffrey was at the head of the table. Bill was at his left. I sat across from him. Amy Taylor, Ghislaine's blonde British assistant, sat to my right. Ghislaine was at Bill's left, and at the left of Ghislaine, there were two olive-skinned brunettes who'd flown in with us from New York. There's some weird like question marks and stuff thrown in there.
Yeah.
Never met them before. I think it says I'd never met them before. I'd say they were no older than 17, very innocent looking. They weren't there for me. They weren't there for Jeffrey or Ghislaine, because I was there to have sex with Jeffrey on the trip. Maybe Jeffrey thought they would entertain Bill, but I saw no evidence that he was interested in them. He and Jeffrey seemed to have very good relationship. Bill was very funny. He made me laugh a few times, and Jeffrey and Ghislaine told blokey jokes, and the brunettes listened politely and giggled. After dinner, I gave Jeffrey an erotic massage. Don't remember seeing Bill again on the trip, but I assume Ghislaine flew him back. According to prison records, when Epstein was serving his jail term, his visitors include a long, doesn't say anything. So Bill must have known about Jeffrey's girls. There were three desks in the living room area of the villa covered with the photos of the naked girls. Time and highly controversial. Clinton's acquaintance, Arnold Prosperi, and this is hard, in the final hours, I'm guessing that's what it says, in the final hours of Clinton's presidency in January 2001, Prosperi was facing 3 years in prison after being convicted of tax fraud. Mr. Clinton commuted his sentence to house arrest. Clinton, Prosperi, and Epstein make an odd threesome. On the face of it, says a law enforcement. Was Prosperi visiting Epstein as some kind of intermediary for Bill? Maybe Bill wanted to know if Epstein knew anything that could embarrass him, or did Bill commute Prosperi's sentence as some kind of favor for Epstein? Virginia disclosed that Mr. Clinton's vice president, Al Gore, and his wife, Tipper, were also guests of Epstein on his island.
Another president, Al Gore.
Or vice president, yeah.
Or vice president, that's right.
It says, Cambridge can't contain her excitement as her horse wins at Royal Ascot races, whooped and cheered. Brown Simpson having an affair with OJ's best friend, Marcus Allen. Whoa. What? Okay. With Marcus, and OJ threatened to kill her if she saw him 1 month before her death. That's a random thing to put in there. Okay. I've been doing a favorite awkward moment. See, I think this is just stuff that's kind of redacted still, because there's like a lot of words missing and stuff, and some of this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
All right, so let me go down to page 146. Yeah, so it goes back, says, guest Virginia said she also met former Vice President Al Gore, pictured right with Mr. Clinton. Last summer, the Gores abruptly announced that they were ending their supposedly fairy tale marriage, and just weeks later, it emerged that Mr. Gore, the famously sanctimonious global warming disciple, had been accused of trying to force sex on a woman with whom he had booked a therapeutic massage at an Oregon hotel. Had no clue. Let's see, something's missing. Had no clue that anything was up, Virginia says. The Gore seemed like beautiful people when they met them. All they knew is that Mr. Gore was a friend of Jeffrey's and Ghislaine. Jeffrey didn't ask me to give him a massage. There might have been a couple of other girls on that trip, but I could have never imagined this guy would do anything wrong, was planning to vote for him when I turned 18. Oh, wow. I thought he was awesome. Virginia said that yet another American liberal icon, President Obama, Middle East peace envoy Senator George Mitchell, frequently visited Epstein's New York residence.
Hey, another presidente.
Damn, dude.
That's crazy.
That's insane. So you got Clinton, You got Al Gore. Now President Obama.
Yep. In the other ledgers I saw, it wasn't just President Obama; it was Miss Obama too. In one of the other ledgers I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Now, this doesn't say that Obama was at the island. This is that he visited.
His
It
New
says
York
Virginia,
residence.
and this according to Virginia. Virginia said that yet another American liberal icon, President Obama. Oh, okay. Wait. No, it's not. It's not President Obama. It's weird. They have it written weird. It says President Obama's. It's because they put a question mark there. Middle East peace envoy Senator George Mitchell was there, not Obama. Take that back. Take that back. Rewind that.
Oh, my bad.
It's because they have this. Watch, like I'm gonna zoom in on this so you guys can see what they're doing here. These bastards. They're doing this to purposefully trick some people. I think I'm at the maximum zoom. I can't even find it anymore. But it says President Obama, and then it has like a question mark instead of like an apostrophe S. So I thought it was like a comma. So it's President Obama, comma, Middle East peace envoy Senator Mitchell, comma. That's the way I had read it the first time. But I think it's not a comma, it's an apostrophe. I'll continue. It says Mr. Mitchell, age 77, who previously led American Northern Ireland peace initiative, was very close to Jeffrey. Virginia recalled he was very clean cut. You wouldn't think of him being part of Jeffrey's crew. So that's one part. In fact, I know a lot of people are saying, you know, where's Trump in this? You know, does he come out in this document? Let me see, because I had searched Trump's name, and that was one of the pages that came out.
Yeah, because Trump does come out. His name does come down on page 140, 147. His name's on there.
Oh yeah, give me a second. Let me pull it back up.
But it's hard because his name comes up, but it's weird. It says Stephen Colbert compares Trump to as he draws a swastika on the chalkboard while trying to figure out. Dang it, my phone changed. So I hit the search button too. Let me go back.
Yeah. Now there. So I saw some stuff here about Trump. Let me look it up because they're all over the place. I have it on here on Twitter. Where was it? It's probably this one right here. It says, this one I haven't even read yet. It says, do you recall where you flew with when you traveled that first time with Jeffrey Epstein? We left Palm Beach and landed in Atlantic City for a few hours because there was a storm in New York, and then got back to the plane a few hours later and landed in Teterboro. And you said that you recall landing in Atlantic City. Did you go to Atlantic City? Yes, we went to one of Trump's casinos. Yeah, should go into the casino itself. No, that has nothing to do with Trump. You know, I mean, they just went to his casino.
Yeah.
Here's one of them. It says, did you ever see Donald Trump at Jeffrey's home? No, not that I can remember. On his island? No, not that I can remember. In New Mexico? No, not that I can remember. In New York? No, not that I can remember. And it says, all right, if you could turn to the second page and read through those, let me know if, and I'll see if I can find it. But there was another section where it says, it basically exonerates Trump. You know, they had asked her if he had been involved in any of the sexual activity, and she said no. And this was Miss Maxwell, you know, who had said this. So I'm trying to find that aspect of it. All right, right here it says, did any of the guests for whom gave a massage mention that they expected something else? No. They ask you to engage in sexual contact, and if you refuse, objection, no. By Miss Manger, Marvin Minsky, I don't know that. George Lucas, no. Donald Trump, no. Did you ever massage Donald Trump? No. Sorry, I have to ask, but did you ever have sex with Alan Dorschowitz? I think that guy's like some sort of like Harvard professor or something like that, defense attorney, in the back of a limousine with Virginia and Jeffrey Epstein present. And the witness said, absolutely not. So it's interesting. What do you think about this, Big Blue? Do you think that this kind of, what do you think this says about our presidents in the past?
I mean, everybody has a dark side, and then the more power they get, the more crazier the dark side gets. I believe, because you see it all the time in just local, like just like local mayors and stuff. You see all the crazy stuff that comes out about all the local political figures here.
Yeah.
Like the here in SA, they just got another city councilman for DWI. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the last councilman that got DWI got house arrest. He didn't even get jail time.
Damn. That's insane, man. Let me see. I'm going to try to find some more of these tweets that are going out. What do you guys think in the comment section? You think anybody surprise you guys? Anybody not surprise you?
In the the one that did surprise me, but the list I saw, it shows that like they were pilots and they're actors. I sent in that video clip, but if the name is true, Bob Saget is on there, which is pretty crazy. He passed away.
Yeah, dude, and I have the Black Book too. Watch this right here, and on the Black Book you have like David Blaine. Ain't that the magician?
Yeah, it's a magician.
And like Mike Bloomberg, that name sounds familiar. I think he's like a financial guy.
Stephen Hawking, somebody put on there.
That's insane. But let's see. Donald Trump was also a good friend of Jeffrey's. He didn't partake. This is the one I was looking for. All right. So this is from 6/15/2016. Epstein's many Hollywood pals include Matt Groening, creator of The Simpsons. Jeffrey once had me give Matt a foot massage when he was lying on the jet with us, Virginia says. She laughed and he laughed and did drawings of Bart and Homer for my little brother and my dad. I also met Naomi Campbell at a birthday party of hers on a yacht in the south of France. She is a friend of Ghislaine, but she was a reef bitch to me. She was very fake. She turned away from me when we were introduced by Ghislaine and Jeffrey. Donald Trump was also a good friend of Jeffrey's. He didn't partake in the sex with any of us, but he flirted with me. He'd laugh and tell Jeffrey, you've got the life. Palm Beach police say Epstein seemed utterly unfazed by the allegations against him when they began their long and detailed investigation. So from everything that we see here, there's nothing that implicates Trump in any of the in any type of activity of bad doing. And at least with this situation, I felt like this was going to be the case because given how scrutinized President Donald Trump has been, had he been anywhere near on this thing would have been leaked a long time ago. What do you think?
Yeah, I think if his name was, hey, we have a witness statement, we have something on him, the way the presidential candidacies are coming up next year, or this year, November.
Yeah,
it'd be all out, man, all out. But the crazy part about it is, I'm going through it too, and I see, these docs are weird. I'm not sure they're. We have to maybe look for some more authentic ones, maybe, because I don't know these, because it just goes back to weird stories like Trump's name's in there, but it's like Trump's dad was at a birthday party, but they had to put Donald Trump's dad was there. You know what I mean? Wasn't
Yeah.
nothing to do with him. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta understand, Epstein. He was one of the elite, right? I mean, he hosted parties, and people are gonna come to those parties. They don't know what you do. They might know what you do. They turn a shoulder because it's a place where everybody's gonna show up to mingle. And if it's just have a couple drinks, listen to music, you get to meet other people that are pretty popular up there. But you know,
Hmm.
it's the same thing if we ever had the stories of how many presidents or how many congressmen secretly visited the Playboy Mansion. I mean, I guarantee there'd be a monster of a list.
Yeah. Yeah. And real quick, y'all, we got 600 people watching this. If y'all do us a favor and hit that like button, help us get this going and get the content out. What do you think this means for any of the rumors that have been going on, Blue, referencing White House officials, having certain like fetishes and parties and things like that, that's been part of like documentaries such as Fall of Cabal and things like that. Like, for instance, there was a $65,000 hot dog party at the White House at under President Obama's watch. There was speculation that had some underlining meaning. Do you think that maybe perhaps any of those rumors um, maybe perhaps need a second look at, given the fact that a lot of these people that are on here are people of high power?
I mean, they can go back and look at it. It's one of those things where it was at the White House. They should have a list of who showed up. And sometimes stuff gets recorded in those kind of places, and the people don't know they're being recorded. So they might have something on record.
Yeah.
I mean, but look at the crazy stuff that came out last week. The two interns um, having sex in Congress's office, right?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy stuff that can happen. And it wasn't released by, you know, CCTV, or I think they probably tried to hide it, and these guys released it just to spite the government and say, look what we did.
Right.
So there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes around there.
That's the one with the dudes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard about that. Well, there was a clip going around Twitter about that, and how like that's not being reported by mainstream media, and this, that, and a third.
Somebody sent to me, it's like, you got to see this crazy what's happening all over office. And at first I'm like, okay, man, there's a weird guy without a shirt. Is it from January 6th insurrection? And
Yeah.
like, nope, it was not.
Yeah, yeah, and Extreme Blonde. This is off of documentcloud.org, and there's been other places where it's been dropped at. These are legit. These are the docs. They've been written across some of the bigger channels that I watch, that talk about this type of subject. And these exact documents that we're reading are the ones that they have been saying and reading as well. So I have no doubt that these are 100% real. What do you think, Blue? You think there's any chances of fake?
I mean, some of it can be real, but some of it's just the way the cases are on there that I saw on the log. It's like cases against banks and against huge financial businesses. So maybe the CEOs have ties into this, but every time right now when I'm trying to click back into it, there it goes. It was taking a while. I think their website's gonna crash if everybody keeps getting on there. But
yeah, I shouldn't have said anything. Everybody's going. But
I'm like, why is it not letting me in no more?
Right, I do have the Epstein little black book, and Naomi Campbell is right here, and they just talked about Naomi Campbell there. This also has Donald Trump's information on it. This is one that does have his name, but I think there was a time that they were friends prior to these accusations coming up. I think, if my memory serves correctly, and you guys can correct me in the live chat, I know you guys will. Once there was accusations in New York about some of the behavior that that Epstein had, Donald Trump kicked him out of the Mar-a-Lago resort area golf course. And so, to my knowledge, there's no connection. And I would think that if there was, like, to the extent where it turned out to be, something like what they're accusing, like, for instance, Bill Clinton of being involved with, that would be out 100%. Yeah, he banned him. Heard that as well. Yeah. My memory is still there sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I'm going to go back here because it's slow.
And, this is 2,000 pages to try to break down, and we haven't even touched the surface of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So Kimmel comes out twice. Front lawyer Kimmel. Oh, that's a lawyer named Kimmel. So it don't seem like Jimmy Kimmel's on this one. Let me see if he's on. Because did you hear the story that came out earlier today about Aaron Rodgers?
Jimmy Kimmel wants to sue Aaron Rodgers for saying that he was on the docket.
Didn't Jimmy Kimmel, used to joke around saying that, like, for instance, Trump was, part of the Russians with that fake Russian dossier stuff that went down?
I mean, Jimmy Kimmel, he says a lot of things. Like,
so basically, what we're saying is he can dish it, but he can't take it.
Yeah, he does a lot of dishing out, and not even towards, like, Trump, just like towards a lot of people. Like, and then when people start saying stuff about him, it's like, I'm gonna get my lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a little punk.
I used to watch his show sometimes, and it's like The View. I can't watch it.
With Jimmy Kimmel, like, I thought he was funny when he was a comedian, and then, when he would, he came out on, like, some football stuff. He used to do some funny stuff back in the day, and all of a sudden, he just kind of, I don't know, he turned for the worse. Let's see. Yeah, I'm kind of going through these pretty quick. Who was another person that was thought of? Bill Gates. Let's see if Gates comes out on this.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it on my phone because it's taking forever.
Now, we do know that Bill Gates met with Epstein at some kind of they had, like, dinner or lunch together or something like that. Gates says he doesn't really, didn't really know him, just kind of had lunch with him, and that was it. Do you believe that?
It could have a lunch, I would say this guy had some money, right? So he probably wanted to get into some businesses, and he would try to set up meetings with these top guys to make businesses. He's like Trump. He's had tons of meetings with everybody. When you're trying to expand your business, you gotta, what do they call it? Where you talk and mingle with other people. Yeah. I'm trying to read this one.
I have Bobby Kennedy and Mary Kennedy. Is that Robert Kennedy Jr., RFK? The current, one of the guys that is running for, the Democratic presidential position.
I mean, Bobby is
I don't know.
Robert.
But is he married to Mary? I don't know. RFK wife. Yeah, Mary Richardson Kennedy. Yeah. Oh, wow. So, but this was a while ago, obviously, because their marriage was only through 1994 to 2012. So Bobby and Mary Kennedy, what is that? Do you think that, how does that affect his presidential, run? Do you think it does at all, Blue?
No, I don't think so right now. Because I mean, I haven't been able to catch any of the debates that I've been hearing about. I don't think they have any yet, but there is a
Oh no.
couple. I've seen a couple shorts on my YouTube and all that stuff where there is some debating going on with some Democrats, but I haven't seen any debating going on with Republican candidates.
Oh, come on. It goes blank right here. Nothing there.
That was
Right when I was gonna get to the KIM. Come on. There it comes back. And it's at the M's. What who's in there? Okay, so we went from K to M. What are we missing in there? What's in between K and M? Like, oh, you like that's cool.
L.
That's not cool. Well, yeah, but
L.
like whose name would come out between K and M? Those bastards. All right, so I bet you there's somebody. Oh, did you hear about that one Doe? So it's like Doe 107 or something like that. Basically, got a to have their information redacted. They got some sort of like 30-day extension, right? And with that extension, what it did was, I think they had it until January 22nd or 24th, and they have to report why. It would cause like a safety concern for, and it defines her as a her. And it says in her country, so I'm assuming it's somebody out of the United States and from the outside of the United States. I wonder who it is. It's have to be somebody of high importance to be able to have something like that pushed. You know what I mean? Where it was pushed that far.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that surprised me that I've been hearing being talked about was this also released a lot of the names of the victims and
Yeah.
their ages, and that's pretty crazy because most of the time when we talk about SA on children, those are always kept redacted. They're kept under lock and key. But maybe because they're adults now and they're coming forth and telling their story, that they're putting their names out there.
Hey, I got them to come up. The ones that were missing. All right. Well, I'm sorry about that, but what were you saying? Keep going.
No, they normally, like, if it's an essay, like on a minor, they normally keep the name hush. They don't put it out there. Everything's redacted on the name.
Right, but I mean, are they still minors? If this was something that happened a couple of years ago and they were pretty close to the legal age, they might be, adults now. Just kind of think of the Delphi case that we cover with Richard Allen, how a lot of those witnesses were redacted because at the time they were obviously, children or whatnot and underage. But now that, Richard Allen's been arrested and it's been 7 years, a lot of those witnesses have now turned 18 and are no longer redacted. So it might be one of those type of situations, but I do agree that maybe perhaps they shouldn't, disclose the the victims, just because there's also some retaliation that could be, they could face. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's no, and everybody's out there on the internet that I saw was, why haven't these people been arrested? I mean, there's not really a proof that they did something wrong. There's just a proof that they went or visited. And maybe there's a book that's missing that says, "Hey, paid for these services on these days," and that's the proof, and that's a damning evidence that they might not have, or they do have, and they haven't released yet.
Mm-hmm.
You imagine one day they decide, hey, we got the evidence. Let's go arrest these people. Half the elite that run the U.S. probably wouldn't show up to work that day. Maybe
There
like
are some people that have been like oddly leaving and disappearing.
Yeah, it'd be like when they do warrant roundup here at the beginning of the year. It's like, what happened to the waitress? Warrant roundup. What happened to the cook? What happened to the judge? And did a warrant roundup. That'd be pretty crazy.
Check it out. Watch this. You have a Rothschild right here, Hannah Rothschild, Jessica Rothschild. What? Eduard de Rothschild, Evelyn Rothschild. Aren't those like the super rich people that like run the world that nobody's supposed to know they exist?
I think so. I seen those really familiar.
Right. This is crazy, man. Let's see. I'm already at the S's on this one.
Yeah, and the other book I'm going through like page 700, so no 600. So,
Kevin Spacey. There he is.
yeah.
But I think everybody kind of knew that he was a part of this. Now Kevin Spacey supposedly he had like a thing for like little boys, right? So that's why I also think that it wasn't just young girls that were violated on this island.
Yeah.
And again, this is all our thoughts and opinions. Everything we say is not factual. It's just opinion.
Yeah, man. The only thing that is factual, and the only person that had got convicted was Epstein, because and he was arrested for it and charged, and one of the um, girls that he sexually abused is in the statements saying, I performed this on him, but never performed it on anybody else, kind of deal. That was there when she was mentioning those other names.
Yeah. And there's a lot of there's Ivanka and Ivana Trump on here, Blaine and Robert Trump. So, Epstein was familiar with the Trump family, Robert and Blaine Trump. Chris Tucker. I was like, I was surprised. Chessie Thiessen, Francesca. Why does that sound familiar? That name sounds familiar. Freaking Chris Tucker, dude. No way. That is insane.
Man, that was before he found Jesus.
I don't know, man. And was that why he's never came back on next Friday, on the Friday series?
Yeah, supposedly he found Jesus, and weed smoking was not part of it.
Man, Chris Tucker, dude. As you can see, like I had a double take. It's like Chris Tucker. Wait, what? It could be a different Chris Tucker. It may not be the same one. Chris Tucker sounds like it could be a common name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what do you think? You think it was Chris Tucker, the actor?
I don't know, man. He was pretty popular in those days. He was making some money. The Rush Hour.
That's true.
Because supposedly he didn't make any money on the Friday movies. So Rush Hour is making a lot more money, and that's one of the other reasons why he didn't go do Friday.
I didn't see Jackie Chan, so this had to have been before Rush Hour.
No, probably would have been after. You never know. Jackie Chan, that name would stun me if it was here, man. He's a pretty outstanding guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Italy, Israel. Like, these are other people from other countries now. That was everybody from the United States. It's crazy. Here's some other names. They could be from out of nowhere. Almost through with this. And I'm just kind of scanning through it for any name that kind of looks familiar to me. But I'll be honest with you, I probably would not, be the best guy for recognizing any of these names. Outside of Chris Tucker, obviously. That one popped out. Senator Mitchell George Mitchell, which was talked about quite a bit. Let's see. Hey, David Rockefeller. That's another name that I've heard before that aligns with the very wealthy. Like, Blue, how do you think that Epstein could have had something over the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers that he could have done anything? I mean, these are some very wealthy, powerful people. I felt that if he tried to mess with them, that he'd end up.
I'd say, yeah, I would say he wouldn't have a long lifespan, if he had too much stuff on. So,
or if he used it against them.
Yeah, if you try to blackmail that many people, somebody's gonna, come back for you, and somebody did, supposedly, as the rumor goes. All right, now I'm on page.
So this one says Donald Trump here.
675 on the other docket. And
oh yeah, and what do you got there? What do you got at 675, my man?
Well, it's one of the girls talking about how she did have photos of her with people, but after a while she got rid of them, and the FBI is interviewing her.
Find it here. You said it was what page?
675.
Oh, this is with the prints.
Yeah, about the picture prints.
Oh, so. So he's the only witness to your sexual activity of the prints. On the instruction of Epstein and Ghislaine, yes. Question: where in South France were you? Answer: I don't know. Question: were you on a boat or were you in a house? Answer: we were at a lake, like a cabana, not a cabana, like a resort, but it's a big party. Who was throwing the party? I don't know. It was just brought there. You also referred to the powerful business executives. What powerful business executive were you sexually trafficked to? Again, the extent you can reveal somebody without the safety concern, you're welcome to do that. Well, again, right, I understand. Same objection, same ruling. George Mitchell is the answer. When you were sexually trafficked to George Mitchell. Question: do you have the originals? Answer: again, between the FBI and giving them to my lawyers and Sharon Kircher, the circulation, I'm not too sure if I have the originals. I know I have copies, so I'm not too sure if they're the originals. Question: the booklet that you gave pages from Miss Churchill, where is that booklet? Answer: burned. When did you burn it? Answer: I think it was 2013. Me and my husband had a bonfire. What did you put in the bonfire? Any kind of memories that I had written down about all the stuff going on. Question: had you written anything about Professor Dershowitz? Answer: he could have been there, yes. Question: and you burned that? Answer: I wanted to burn my memories. I wanted to get rid of it. It was so very painful stuff. Man, it's unfortunate. Question: other than that, you had written down, did you burn anything? I don't mean the wood when you talk about burning your memories. What were you burning? Answer: I was burning like memories, thoughts, dreams that I had, just everything that was kind of affiliated with the abuse I endured. And there was a lot of it in there. My husband is pretty spiritual, so he said the best thing to do would be burn them. Is there anything you decided to keep and not burn? Answer: just the photographs. Questions: anything else that you can think of? Answer: photographs, and that's it. So what else did you see in here, Big Blue, that you want me to cover on this?
Just that, the print was possibly involved, but she burned some of the stuff that would be, evidence that could be used against him. I didn't say what prints, so I'm gonna have to read up. I'm just jumping through and see if I find anything interesting.
Yeah. Keep doing that, my man. That's good stuff. Let's see. So yeah, this senator, I mean, apparently, obviously, he was heavily involved. Do you think that's like, these powerful people are why we can't, why this has been so redacted and the names haven't been put out there?
I think it's partially, the senators, the uh, past presidents that have implications here, and just all the business people. I mean, if you go through a list, some of those it says CEO of certain businesses on there. I mean,
Yeah.
they're pretty big businesses, man.
Yeah. Cleaners is circled in here too. This is the Jeffrey Epstein little black book. A lot of this is redacted, just the numbers, but the names are on there. Let's see. We've been going through this, and we've also been going through the 2024 pages that has also been released. We have about 1,600 of you guys in here. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I was looking at that. It says like that was going through more like his personal, like security and maybe carpet cleaners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then now it starts talking about all the other countries.
So I finished through this list. I didn't see a Robert De Niro. Let me go all the way back up. I know somebody asked that in the comment section. I'll go back up to the D's real quick just to make sure. Chris Tucker was there. I was highly surprised when I saw his name. If you go rewind, you'll see that I do a double take. I'm like, Chris Tucker. It was pretty bad. It sucks because
Charlotte DeVito, right? Charlotte DeVito, but not Danny DeVito.
De Niro, Robert De Niro.
Oh, okay.
I don't see it. I didn't see it. I went through the C's, Davis, Dahl, Dickerson. I mean, there's a lot more that's going to come out from what I understand. Significantly more. This is just kind of the top of, the surface, so to speak. I know that there's at least one other person who's gotten an extension on their redaction of their name. It's some female from another country based on the verbiage in that report. Why isn't this? Let's see. And it sucks because I had it. Let me just look at Bill. Yeah, I've seen the redacted or unredacted flight logs. They're pretty insane too. They definitely are. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know that Jimmy Kimmel was personal friends with his chef. That's insane. Oh, that is insane. No, I'm not saying Chris Tucker is a pedo. I was just very surprised to see him on there. That's a name that I really didn't expect to see. Not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just kind of like random. Like, man, I didn't think he would know that guy. I mean, I don't know Chris Tucker personally or anything, but I just found that kind of, weird.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if there was enough evidence to put something together, they would, or they are. So this is just the beginning. This is just, hey, we're putting the list out there. If you find yourself, maybe you might want to get a lawyer.
Yeah.
It might be a warning, man. You never know. Or it might be like, hey, I know all these rumors are going out there. This is what we found. And I mean, I'm pretty sure those girls have stories to tell, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be evidence against some people, but not against all these people. Some of these people might have been going to private parties there. I mean, I heard the guy had some crazy parties that only the elite can go to. Private invites.
Yeah.
And people say, like I seen a couple of like big names. I swear I saw Fergie. I saw Jay-Z. This guy was having huge parties. He had to have entertainment. So I'm pretty sure they were hired for private events. And they probably didn't know what was going on in the background, but they were hired to perform their music there. Depending who's number one in the charts, they get asked to private parties all the time. I mean, I think who was the one that there was a comedian that said he's done doing private parties because um, they would make him like do skits that he just got tired of doing over and over because the private parties that's all they wanted him to do. And I think it was Fluffy who said that they do get hired to go to millionaires' houses and do jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah, but how I mean, they have no way of knowing, you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, what do you call it? Like if you got a call, right? And let's just say you were a performer and somebody said, hey, this really wealthy person, likes your stuff. He wants you to do a private show. They're going to pay you X amount of money. And you don't know who the person is. This guy wasn't out there like that. Like, before, all this stuff started coming out about these allegations, not very many people knew who Epstein was. He wasn't a public figure like that. He wasn't like Donald Trump, where he was out in the news and out in places like that. Or some of these other wealthy, high profile people. Nobody really knew who he was. And, I forgot where I was going with that, but,
no, just saying that it wasn't publicized that
right.
was
that's what I'm saying
before.
Right. So let's just say you were to be, thank you for reminding me. Let's say you got invited to some financial advisor, and I think that's what they said he was, house to do a performance, and you go out there and you do it. And you don't see anything. I mean, should you be, canceled or blacklisted because you went to a party that you were paid for? And, let's just say it was not every party that was out there was, this type of nature. I think that there's a possibility of that, and that's going to suck for those people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I can't remember what movie was it? It was ended up being John. I think it was Get Hard with Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Well, John Mayer comes out in that movie, and in that movie, Will Ferrell's a wealthy person. And long story short, he's accused of doing a white collar crime. And at his birthday party, they paid, John Mayer for going out there and performing. And during that performance, they raid the house and they end up, arresting Will Ferrell. And John Mayer comes out and is like, hey, I was just a performer. I was there, blah, blah, blah. You can kind of explain those type of situations, but when it comes to this type of situation, I don't think that's gonna fly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's always logs of who goes in and out of places. So we'll see. I saw that name too, but I don't know. Anderson Cooper.
All I know is I think there's so many people on these documents because it is working so slow. And I mean, I can pull this up, but I can't search. Can you search Bill Gates and Gates on there and Blue, see if it's working faster? I know that was a name that was circulated around as a possible, person that was connected. I just want to see if Trump was there. Yeah, he was not there, but he was on this document. The documents here kind of exonerate him, so to speak. One of the victims claimed that, or not claim. I think it was Giselle Maxwell. She claimed that Trump and Jeffrey claimed that him and Trump were good friends. She had seen them together. However, he didn't participate in any of the sexual stuff. And I'm not sure if I can find it. I think it was page 1. Was it 147? I thought that's where it was. Could be wrong. Let me see. A lot of these pictures weren't up there. All right, right here. It says, Donald Trump was also a good friend of Jeffrey's. He didn't partake in sex with any of us, but he flirted with me. He'd laugh and tell Jeffrey, you got the life. So that was detailed there. Blue, if you can look up other places. Well, did you find anything on Bill Gates? I'll look up Trump here.
I'm trying, but the search engine ain't wanting to work. But look at page 697. It's the cutout from a book. It's called The Billionaires Players Club.
Wait, Trump came out. Good deal. All right. Epstein and a Wall Street money manager who once counted Bill Clinton and Donald Trump amongst his friends became a subject of an undercover investigation in 2005. Their stepmother, a 14-year-old girl, claimed she was paid $200. But I think that was where Trump banned him from Mar-a-Lago because he was accused of that. He wasn't aware of any of those things, and he got accused, and he banned him and kicked him out. But there's other parts here where it asks if Donald Trump was ever at the at the island, New Mexico, this place and that place, and the answer was always no. Now, Robert Kennedy Jr. was there, apparently. His name was right here.
Yeah, there's a whole 141-page book in the middle of it.
Yeah. And then so here it says, he was good friends with Jeffries, but he didn't partake with any of the sex. But yeah, they asked if he was there, and they said they never seen him at the island or any of those things. So no, he's not involved. And trust me, if he was, the way he gets looked at and under the microscope, if there was anything there, it would have been brought out to the limelight a long time ago. Let's see. Here it is, page 1918. He didn't partake with any of the sex, but it's not true that he flirted with me. Never flirted with me. Oh, wow. So this is where Maxwell says that never happened. The next sentence is, he'd laugh and tell Jeffrey, you got the life. That to her, Donald Trump. I never said, when you say he didn't partake in the sex with us, who is us? And the answer was girls. How do you know Donald Trump just had sex with? And the answer was, I didn't physically see him have sex with any of the girls. And I can't say who he had sex with in his whole life or not, but just that I know it wasn't with me when I was there with other girls. Question, and who are the other girls that you were with in Donald Trump's presence? None. I worked for Donald Trump, and I met him probably a few times, 20. When have you met him? And this is 21. That's just the number of the question. I apologize. When have you met him? At Mar-a-Lago. My dad and him, I wouldn't say they were friends, but my dad knew him and they would talk all the time. Well, not all the time, but when they saw each other. Question, have you ever been in Donald Trump and Virginia Giuffre volume? And it says 11/14/2016. Jeffrey's presence with another? No. What is the basis of your statement that Donald Trump is good friends with Jeffrey? Jeffrey told me that Donald Trump is good friends of his. So it wasn't that it was known that they were good friends. This is something that Jeffrey said. I got a question for you, Big Blue. If you're somebody who, wants to be out there and claim to know a lot of people back in the 90s, early 2000s, Donald Trump was somebody that was a high figure. Don't you think that, he would tell people that he was good friends with these individuals? Or do you think that there's because I don't know. I mean, they don't see him with any of the sexual stuff, just that Jeffrey claimed to be Donald Trump's good friends. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think that there's a coincidence that I think they knew each other for real. It's like, because as I'm going through these statements, a lot of the lawsuits and stuff are from Mar-a-Lago, Florida. They're from New York. They were all in the same area. They both had money. I'm pretty sure they went to the same social club, same golfing. You'll run into people, and if Epstein was there making friends, I'm pretty sure Trump knew about it because he was, probably at his golf courses.
Right. Yeah, I mean, definitely they did. Trump did say that he was friends with him at one point, and he even made the statement that he likes younger girls. I mean, think about it. Apparently, and from what the looks of it is, that Epstein was trying to make friends or be be with powerful people, right? People with money. Uh, Donald Trump, especially in that time of day, would be one of the prime targets to have, something on. You know what I mean? I'll continue this. It says, question, but you have never observed them together. And then answer is no, not that I can actually remember. So she claims that Jeffrey told her that Donald Trump is a good friend of his, but she never witnessed Donald Trump and together. That's interesting. And then she goes, no, me not at the top of my head, no. I said, the question is, when did Donald Trump flirt with you? Answer is, he didn't. A question, did you ever see Donald Trump at Jeffrey's? That's what's inaccurate home. Answer, not that I can remember. On his island. Answer, no, not that I can remember. In New Mexico. Answer, no, not that I can remember. In New York. Answer, not that I can remember. Question, all right. If you could turn to the second page and read those through those, any of those inaccurate, them, and then we'll come back. Let me know. Just put a check. Okay. So that's the entirety of the what happens there with Trump. So by the sound of it, there's really nothing there.
Yeah. There's nothing in there about Obama either. I was looking through it, and so
you were really wanting that, Blue.
Yeah, man.
Blue.
There's a lot of stuff, going around with it, the movie they made, and how, the elites are trying to tell us something, and they think that a lot of people saying that it's through this movie that they're letting us know a lot more information, that because it's one of those things where I don't know that they have this information, and in some part of their life they do have a heart, so they want to give everybody a heads up.
Yeah.
And I mean, just look at, I guess I have to look it up again. I watched the conspiracy channels, okay, and I just saw it, how the Hawaiian water systems were attacked by a Chinese cyber attack. It has to be 100% confirmed, but there's a lot of crazy cyber stuff that's going to start happening. And they gave us a glimpse of what could happen if we don't know how to protect ourselves. I mean, just look at what happened to the MGM Grand 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. They got shut down for like almost a week by hackers because they didn't pay the money they asked for. They didn't pay trying to think and read at the same time. The ransom, they didn't pay the ransom.
Yeah.
And they lost out a couple $1 million probably, or more. So it's a lot of stuff that can happen, probably will happen. And we just have to keep an eye on it, man.
Yeah. I know you got to get going here soon because you got to go to work, Blue. And I'm gonna stay on, for everybody else that's in the live chat. I'm not gonna go, and we're gonna continue to go through this for a little bit longer, for quite a bit while longer. But what do you think, Blue, about the there's a famous picture on Epstein's island in his house where there's a picture of him in a blue dress with red heels, sitting on a chair. Now, apparently, he'd visited the island multiple times. Like, what would you think if somebody had
Clinton, right? Clinton.
Yeah. What would you think if somebody had a painting of you in a dress, just kind of sitting there with high heels? You would still go there? Like, you wouldn't take offense to it?
He likes his admirers. Maybe he sat there for that portrait to be hand painted. You never know.
It could be, dude. I mean, that would be weird, because he also had the George Bush. I wonder if George Bush pops up in any of these documents, because he had the George Bush painting with him throwing the paper planes into the two Jenga towers.
Maybe right? It's one of those things where, like, he had it up there just as somebody put there, he lost a bet. Maybe he did lose a bet, or maybe, sometimes, like, it was like embarrassing Halloween costume he wore once or something, and maybe this guy's had a picture of it, and to tease him about it every time he went over, he had it up there. I mean, I don't know.
What about the fact that he's wearing red shoes, red high heels? This is Bill Clinton. You know, there is a conspiracy out there about these red shoes, right? Do you think that maybe there's some truth now behind those conspiracies?
There's a lot of truth behind a lot of conspiracies that we still think are fake, and they're actually true.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say yes. There's some truth to it.
I'm gonna go
and
ahead.
they said the dress is blue.
Yeah, it is blue.
I was gonna say yeah. I was gonna mention that name, but you know how she's been pretty active.
Oh, really? I
I
didn't
don't.
know that was what it was. That's new information for me.
I was gonna say is her name on the dockets as one of his
Right.
guests?
All right. Let's see. I thought I had a picture of that somewhere here. I know I pulled them up before.
But I do gotta get going. Y'all have a good night. Daniel's gonna stay on here and read everything with y'all, and I'll catch up. I gotta work tonight. I'm a bum, and I still have to pay the bills and work. So, yeah, have a good day.
Thank you, Blue. We appreciate you being on, man.
Yeah, I'll take care.
Take care, man. So I'm going to continue right here. This is Miss McCauley. It says, before you go, Virginia, I'm going to object to the use of the second page of this document. No source reference to it. It's entirely unclear where this has come from. There's no time frame on it. A question by Miss Minger. Answer yes. Okay. Are you done? Where's the first one you've put a check by? Answer. The hammock photo was all over the house in parentheses. Sorry, Bill Clinton and Andrew in parentheses had to have seen it. Bill Clinton and blank, I'm all over the house. It's not my statement. An exaggeration. The house's conversation correctly, she asked, could have Bill Clinton and Andrew seen the pictures? Yes, it's possible they could have seen it. They did have the picture in, and I believe, if I remember, and I said, so I mean, it's just that it's not that it's totally inaccurate. And so some of this is like really all over the place, guys. I apologize, but I do think that there's a lot of stuff that's still redacted out of this, obviously. So it does sound like I might be speaking gibberish a little bit. I apologize for that. So journalist writing had to have seen it. I mean, they saw it in front of them. They would have seen it. Question. I just think it's like it doesn't. I just think that if it was in, so she told you that you told her that, Virginia. Yeah. So a lot of this is still, hard to read. Let me see. I'm going to start looking up other names and see what we can come up with. Again, I'm going to try to look for Gates. That was one that I was trying to find out earlier. Again, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. We'd appreciate that. Our channel covers everything from true crime to conspiracies, from aliens to government conspiracies to crisis at the border to the Brian Koberger case, the Delphi case out there in Indiana, and here locally in San Antonio, the Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra case. So give us a like, follow, and subscribe. We'd appreciate it. All right, so Boulevard gates, security gates, behind the gates, underneath the gates, monsters at the gates. Conference on Internet Computing Lab. That might be interesting. I might go back to that one. 1427. Security gates, power gates, ECMO system. All right, let me go back to this one that I've seen. Oh, I don't know what this is. None really. All right. Let me know in the live chat if there's anybody that you guys want me to see on here, or try to look up. Anyone could paint a picture of anything, including Bush with the Jenga, which I also think is wrong. I mean, possibly. I mean, anybody could, fake those things. I'm just saying that those were the rumors that were out. Am I cutting in and out? Let me know, guys. Yeah, it's a crazy, crazy thing. Let me look up. Peter Bard. I don't know. I'll check it out. See if I can find anything on this guy. All right. It might take a second for it to come through. But yeah, there's this, and there's the little black book that was released. Again, I kind of went through these before. Bill Clinton had red shoes on, and Trump was friends with him before he became a pedo. Sure, blue going to work. Daily Wire. I mean, Christos, I know you're getting all political here and stuff, but to be honest with you, I really don't care about either side. I think both sides, when it comes to politicians, I don't trust any of them. They all want what's best for them. If you put your hands in the faith of people or other people, that's your decision, man. I don't trust the government. I don't trust the politicians. I don't like politicians. They all lie. They all want what's best for their interests, whether they're red, blue, the green. It don't matter which side they're on. They ain't looking out for you and me. They're going to tell you they are. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. But how many times have you heard some politician, regardless of what side of the aisle they're on, tell you they're going to do something and they don't do it? I'm sure it's more often than not. Whether it's, paying off everybody's college loans or closing the border or arresting Hillary Clinton, there's been a lot of promises that have been made by everybody on both sides that didn't happen. Now, that's just my 2 cents. I don't trust anybody. If you guys want to put your belief in one side or the other, that's your prerogative. I'm not going to hold any judgment towards you or anything like that. But obviously, when you look at some of these folks that continue to come up here, such as, Bill Clinton, and obviously we've heard about the, what's the word I'm looking for? We've heard of all the controversy between him and other women before. I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So just because you might align yourself with one side of the political aisle and more of the people that you vote for are on here, doesn't mean you have to take any of it personal either. Because Bill Clinton was there or anybody else or Donald Trump was there doesn't mean that you were. You don't have to take it personal. You know what I mean? So, there's no need to come in and say, oh, you're on one side or the other. Nah, my man, I'm not. I don't trust anyone. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's see who else is on here. Andrew, and again, I say I'm not probably the best person to identify who any of these people are. They would have to be pretty famous or celebrity for them to, come up in my head. Steve and Sabin Forbes. I don't know who they are, but I've heard of Forbes magazine. Is there a connection there? I don't know. Katie Ford, Tom and Richard Ford. Are they part of the Ford company? I don't know. Andrew Fox, William and Lucinda Fox. I don't know. Fox, maybe not. I don't know who any of these people are. Let me see. Frost, Mr. David and Lady Frostenberg, Gasper Nacho. And, just to kind of go back with it, I honestly expected to see Donald Trump on here. Just because who were the people that Jeffrey Epstein targeted? wealthy, famous, powerful people, which Donald Trump kind of, fulfilled those categories. And if he showed up, I would have been like, look, there he is. He didn't. So it is what it is. And where he did show up, we've gone over every single one. That way, nobody can hold it against us and say we're cherry picking and we're not talking about one side or the other. In fact, I think that we haven't gone over a majority of what's in. You know what? Let's go find what majority of what has Clinton's name on it real quick. Because I did go through everything that said Trump. My breakdown of how many times Clinton's name is in here. Epstein never had a job. That's the thing, right? Like, where did he get his money from? Where did he get his start? Right. Obviously, in my opinion, majority of his wealth probably came at the hands of others, putting them in positions by, blackmail positions, by probably videotaping them or having some sort of evidence with them with underage persons. That way he can control and manipulate whoever those people were. Right. So, I don't know how he got to start. How did he become that way? Did he just, one day? I don't know. I don't know how he got his money. Nobody knows how he started his money. A lot of people speculate that he was some sort of informant, for someone. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen the evidence for that. Usually Occam's razor is probably right. The most likely explanation is the most correct one. And yeah, I don't know what his job was. Mick Jagger was on it. I didn't see him, but I can go back and look. Let's see. It says teenage girl recruited by Jeffrey Epstein reveals how she twice met Bill Clinton. Well, that's on the Daily Mail. Oh, but they're bringing this out because these are instances of when that happened. Epstein, a Wall Street manager, once counted. We already talked about that. Counted Bill Clinton and Donald Trump amongst his friends. Let's see. During an outcry over Epstein case, it emerged that another man with notorious appetite for young women, Bill Clinton, traveled with Epstein to a number of destinations, including 3 times on the billionaire. I'm assuming the airplane was probably what they meant. This is you with Clinton, so I'm assuming that's flew with Mr. Clinton in November 2003 to destinations including Russia, Oslo, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and Beijing. Lent out to Mr. Clinton on one occasion, she adds, Epstein did invite 2 young brunettes to dinner, which he gave on his Caribbean island for Mr. Clinton shortly after he left. So I guess he was there. There were 3 desks in the living room area of the villa covered with photos of naked girls, time and highly controversial. Clinton acquaintance Arnold Prosperi. In the final hours of Clinton's presidency in January 2001, Prosperi was facing 3 years in prison after being convicted of tax fraud. Mr. Clinton commuted his sentence to house arrest. Clinton, Prosperi, and Epstein make an odd threesome on the face of it. Virginia disclosed that Mr. Clinton's vice president, Al Gore, and his wife, and that one was, let me just bring up that one real quick. Because it's not just even Clinton, it was his vice president too, Al Gore. Yeah, that's just insane. Let's see. I want to see what part where it says Al Gore. Virginia disclosed that Mr. Clinton's vice president, Al Gore, and his wife, Tripper, were also guests of Epstein on his island. And don't say, I don't think there's anything about Hillary Clinton. Let me look up her name. But I mean, if Al Gore's going out there and he's taking his wife, I wonder if Bill's taking his. Is this list online somewhere? Yeah. If you just look up, the way I found it was I searched Epstein list PDF, and it brought me to the documentcloud.org. And this is the where I've seen a lot of the other bigger channels covering this. This is the documents that they were talking about, and typically documentcloud.org is pretty spot on. I've used them for other documents, such as, like I mentioned before, we cover true crime, and we'll bring up cases and things like that from, and we'll bring up court documents from here. Thank you, Mama Gigi, for becoming a member. We appreciate you. And Patty Davis, also, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. We appreciate you. We do member only lives about twice a month or so, and we usually do some giveaways of merch and things like that. So I appreciate that. Let's see. Right here. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton frequently visited Epstein's New York residence. Virginia also claims, but he also took his defense very. So yeah, well, I guess Hillary Clinton did frequent. Right here, Jeffrey's Middle East peace envoy George Mitchell Wright, pictured with President Barack Obama and U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, frequently visited Epstein's New York residence. Virginia also claims, and then it's redacted, but he also took his defense very seriously indeed. Epstein engaged his friend, the Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz, whose celebrity clients have included Mike Tyson, Patty Hearst, Klaus Van Boe, and O.J. Simpson to run his legal defense. Interesting. Mick Jagger is numbered page 33, 28, 92, last column, last name. Let me see that. No. Let me go through some of this. In the articles, in response to allegation, Miss Maxwell's British attorney working Mr. Grow. I'm just going to look. I would look it up, but it's going so slow. It don't show up anything. I'm gonna go to 28. I didn't see it on 20. On 33. It follows material. Give me a second. I'm just gonna speed read through this. I don't see anything with Mick Jagger on that. And I'll look it up. See how long it might take. It's crazy stuff, y'all. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy world we live in. Crazy world we live in. I'm going to go through a lot more of these documents over the next day or so. We'll probably go live again tomorrow. Talk about anything else that we may have discovered, maybe have found throughout the 2024 pages. Here is the if you want to find this, just look up the Jeffrey Epstein's Little Black Book Redacted PDF, and you'll be able to find this. This has the names of his black book. You have Robert Kennedy Jr. That guy's right there. You had, oh man, there was quite a few. I just can't think of them off the top of my head, but quite a few folks. Kevin Spacey was on here. Who else? I know Chris Tucker was on here. I don't want to say his name too much. He's probably going to sue me because I keep saying his name. But that's the one that I remember the most because it caught me off of surprise. Alex Loeb. What? No way. For those that don't know who Alex Loeb is, he's the guy, the scientist who remember that comet thing that was from interstellar space that came into our galaxy, then circled around the sun and flew out. Well, Alex Loeb is the guy that thinks that was an extraterrestrial craft. And one of the reasons behind that is because the trajectory after it went around the sun was it like sped up, which it shouldn't have, right? It did something weird. And so he thinks it was a probe. Also it had a real weird shape that didn't make sense, especially for it to have traveled, interstellar. That's crazy. I didn't think he was. That's a crazy name to see. It's weird. I wonder wonder, I bet, it's probably something like, hey, I'll fund your, your science and stuff. I don't know what he get out of that, unless, a heads up of something coming towards Earth, like an asteroid or something. I don't know, what, oh boy, Epstein would get out of Alex Loeb. That's crazy. Oh, wait. I said the wrong word. I apologize. It's Abby Loeb, not Alex. Sorry about that. Man, don't sue me either, Alex or Abel. Appreciate that. Financial backers. All right. I'm glad I read that. Reba was the only surprise for me. Yeah, Reba and her husband were on the plane, I believe. That one was a surprise too. Lost my phone and couldn't remember. Redacted. No problem. So yeah, you just look up Jeffrey Epstein's Little Black Book Redacted, a PDF, and you'll be able to find it. It's not too hard. It's one of the first things that pops up. All right, Abby Loeb, I still want to use you as a guest on the show. Please forgive my my misreading there. Let's see. But yeah, I don't know. There's quite a few people. I mean, many of them I don't know who they are. I know that Naomi, what was that lady? Campbell, something like that. They were on here. Rachel Osborne. Is that one of the Osbornes? I'm not familiar with them, but it's from London. Let me look that up. Rachel Osborne. Oh no, that's the CEO of Ted Baker. I don't know. I don't know what that is. She joined Ted Baker as a financial chief in 2019 before being promoted in 2020. She announced a turnaround strategy in the company. Interesting. I mean, I'm going to go through some of these names and try to see if there's anybody that pops up that's pretty crazy that we can talk about. Let's see. Yeah, just, a lot of people in here that I've never seen before. I can, Quinn Topper, I don't know who that is. Chris Pymont, David Putnam, Charles H. Price. Oh, that name sounds familiar. Who's that? Charles H. Price. I think I saw it was a senator. Oh, yeah. He passed away back in 2012. He was the former United States ambassador to Belgium. Wait, yeah. Charles H. Price. Charles Henry Price. See, I'm going to go through some of these and look them up, see who they are, and see what we come up with. But I'm going to be calling it a show here pretty soon. Let me see. I read Trump is listed as being invited to a casino with him and unidentified witnesses that she was told not to have sexual encounter with Trump. Let me know what page that is, because I saw something about them going to a certain area and visiting Trump's casino, but not that Trump was there. They visited his casino. But let me know what page that is, and I'll go out there and check it out. Didn't he have bungalows that people would just go on vacation there? I don't think it means for most of these people are on the list. Didn't he have bungalows that people would just go on vacation there? I don't think this means anything for most of these people on the list. I don't know. The stories that are out there are that the people that went on vacation there went there for a reason. So, yeah. Han Lucinia Royal. I don't know who that is. But I do think that there's probably people in here that don't have anything to do with what was going on. Like, for instance, he probably has, like, if he has somebody that he used as, his hairdresser, right? That could be somebody that is completely out of, has nothing to do with this. It's just somebody that he prefers to go see, or a mechanic that he likes to work on his vehicles or whatnot. So I'm sure that there are some people that are on here that don't have anything to do with that. Maybe they have some sort of like business or things like that. I don't know what business he did, but maybe he did. Peter Soros. Interesting. Before I say anything, I want to make sure this is the right person that I'm thinking of. Peter Soros. Yeah. Isn't this the guy that is always like, oh, no, that's George Soros. Who's Peter Soros? That's interesting. I don't know if he's related to that Soros guy that is accused of always like sending money places and stuff like that. Kevin Spacey's on here. He's right there. So I'm gonna go through some of these and try to figure out who these people are. Then I'll maybe get like a list going. We'll probably do maybe 15 or 20 at a time or something like that, and just kind of tell you guys who they are, what their background is. Things like that, or who they were in case some of these people have passed. And we'll go through it from there. I want to see who this person is real quick. Jesse. And the last name is Tyson. Tyssen. Let's see who that is real quick. Her name is Francesca Tyson Bornemissia. Born June 7, 1958, formerly Francesca von Hasenberg Lothringen, a Swiss art collector. By birth, she is a member of the House of Thyssen. She is also former wife of Karl von Habsburg, current head of the House of Habsburg. Some folks from Switzerland. See what their career is about. 10 years after she left St. Martin's, she lived in England, New York, and Los Angeles before moving to Lugano to become curator for her father's art collection. During the 1991-1995 Croatian War of Independence, she visited the country to help protect Cretaceous heritage and artworks, and to help restore churches and paintings damaged during the fighting. Interesting name. Yeah, I'm gonna go through these, see if anybody makes any sense. I appreciate everybody that was here. Hold on, quick. I saw something. Look up Wexner from Ohio. Is that person on this list? Just curious. But I'll look up who this is. Wexner. All right. So Les Wexner, former CEO of Victoria's Secret. What? And he gave Epstein power of attorney. That's weird. Like, yeah, like that doesn't scream some kind of blackmail and stuff, right? Interesting. That is insane. Yeah, he's on the list. Oh no, I'm right here at the W's. Let me see. Waterman, Weinstein, Bob Weinstein. He should be. I mean, it said that he gave his information to that. I'm sure it's here. I gotta find it. That's insane, though. But yeah, if that don't scream out freaking blackmail, I don't know. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Maybe Swinger Island, as well as, yeah, it could be some didn't know about the other side of the island waves, just thought both kinds of people all bad, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be anybody that comes out on either this, little black book or in this 2024 document. Any of those names that come up, people are going to be asking questions about, and there's supposed to be a lot more to come out, y'all. This is just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. There's another person who, got some kind of extension and their name was redacted, until January 22nd or the 24th, one of those two. So we'll see who else comes out. We'll be covering this case. Please hit that like and subscribe button. I want to thank everybody that was watching and showed us some love and liked and commented on the stream. Even if you didn't agree with us for whatever reason, we weren't really taking any aisle or side. I know that some folks can take things personally if it sounds like you're, not aligning with their beliefs. We weren't aligning with anybody's, but hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back again soon. I'm going to go through this. I'll have some more names and actual, identify who some of these folks are. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.